in their changed jerseys this evening, who will get the game in motion, courtesy of the right boot of Danny Richardson. And here we go. And one or two little question marks need to be asked and addressed by St Helens over the course of the next 80 minutes. They've been brilliant all year, just faltering at possibly the wrong time of the season. This is Anthony England of Wakefield taking it forward on the second tackle of the match inside his own half of the field. Horrow trying to make progress forward, but Amor, the former Wakefield man, was very quickly out of the blocks, and he was at Wakefield for 2 years, 2011-2013, so he'll be looking for another big game tonight against his former colleagues. And as you see there, he just held onto his head as he rolled away from that tackle. This is James Batchelor. He'll get to his feet, plays it to Tyler Randall, and Hampshire with the kick downfield. It jinks inside Regan Grace, bounces high. The Saints winger will run it back, but a good chase by the Trinity side.
They're quite content to do the basics well. To Wakefield, when you look at them and you look at the performance last week, they didn't make many errors. They made a lot of meters when they were carrying the ball. It was very basic to start the game off from them, but the kick chase, this is what Chris Chester, I think, has instilled in them, a bit of a toughness. Their attitude has certainly improved over the years.
But it was this aggression in defence you're seeing now here, which made it impossible for Hull to gain ground last week in the second half. And they've started the game again with that ferocity and intensity, with the defensive line moving up as quickly as it can.
Yes, it's a big, meaty side, Wakefield, and they've got some big meat waiting to come off the bench as well. Amor with the drive forward on tackle number 5. Great defensive set this from the Wakefield Trinity team. And Richardson from inside the 40 goes for a 40-20. Picked up, though, out of the air by Tom Johnston. And they will bring it forward now.
Good defensive display from Wakefield, just 29 metres. The Saints made it was only the last 2 plays in that set that they managed to get forward, which enabled then Richardson to kick on the front foot under no real pressure, but it's still caught on the full from Tom Johnston.
Horrow takes it forward again for Wakefield. It's Randall at dummy half, and Anthony England drives it forward. He came back from the 2 out against Hull last week. Looked very much the part again. Here's Horrow, gets it away to Jacob Miller. Good movement here, and that's good chiming into the line from Max Jowett. Matty Ashurst to Miller again, shaped a kick and then decided against it. Hampshire then with the boot, out to the right-hand side. It's high, looking for Ben Jones-Bishop, finds only Regan Grace.
I think in that play you could see that Wakefield's attitude tonight would be to be patient. Even though an opportunity opened up before they made that kick, the decision was taken to put it in. Options, obviously, to have a run and take a look as we see a mistake from St Helens, and that's the benefit of being patient when you've got the ball. When it's your time to defend, you can put pressure under the likes of Danny Richardson, who's at the back of the play of the ball, and Mark Percival, who makes the mistake.
Well, when you ask Eddie what have St Helens' problems been in the recent 2 defeats they've suffered, losing the ball in possession in their own half of the field will be number 1. It's top of the list for them. They've got to eradicate that if they want to win here tonight.
Well, you don't expect that sort of mistake from Mark Percival so early in the match, dropping it inside his own 10-metre zone. So this is a great opportunity for Wakefield very early in the piece. They're going to have head and feet at this scrum, and they're loading down the right-hand side, and that's the way it goes to Ryan Hampshire. He finds Jowett. Jowett then pops it up to Ben Jones-Bishop. Got to talk about the wingers in Super League, and Wakefield will be proud of their 2. They'll be proud of this fellow as well, Reece Lynn. Ben Jones-Bishop on one flank, Tom Johnston on the other. Lethal finishers, and big men up the middle like David Fafita. But that's good work from Saints in defence now. Fafita goes down. They haven't made any progress forward. In fact, they've lost a metre in the first 3 tackles. This is Miller. He gets it away to Jowett. Jowett short ball to Tupu, and good work by Makinson. Him closing his options down. Last tackle coming up here then for Wakefield. Can they get a repeat set? Miller. And it goes infield to England. Well, I'm sure the referee made the sign, but apparently he didn't. And so Costello has it.
They didn't finish the set off well then. A couple of Wakefield players appealing to the sideline that was a knock-on. Tommy Makinson looking for some space, trying to link up on the opposite side of the pitch with Regan Grace, but just can't quite get forward enough. They've got to make sure that they're a bit more direct instead of being lateral.
He shows up in attack and defence. It was his decision to come down and shut that play down from Wakefield that saved the blushes of St Helens, and some good work in the backfield from him as well. Tommy Makinson.
Strong run there from James Roby. Barber at dummy half finds Amor. On familiar territory, as I say, is Kyle Amor. 79 appearances for this club. High kick here from Richardson. Well claimed by Jowett, who is in turn claimed by McCarthy Scarsbrook.
Great timing from LNS there. He was on his bike, trying to get there as quick as he can, but he just slowed his pace up down. It was a perfect tackle from the back rower, who doubles up his efforts.
Here goes Miller now from dummy half into the formidable chest of Luke Douglas, helped out by Richardson and Tom Johnstone. Young Player of the Year in Super League 2016. This is his 71st appearance, 54 tries. And here's the other winger, Ben Jones-Bishop, moving in off the flank to try and take a bit of the weight off the forwards. Last tackle coming up here for Wakefield. They're on halfway. The kick from Hampshire will go straight into the arms of Barber. And Ben Barber's been a little bit out of sorts himself over the past couple of weeks. A lot of questions about whether he will be here again in 2019 for St Helens. The press and websites in Australia are full of the fact that he won't be. They claim that St Helens have allowed him to leave come the end of the season, but Saints are not confirming anything just yet. And neither is Barber himself.
And what Wakefield have got to do is deal with what's in front of them. Stop the first three plays. The Wakefield dressing room before the game was talking about Regan Grace, Tommy Makinson and Ben Barber. Take the game away from them. You go a long way to trying to stop James Roby.
Johnny Lomax, a nice little run. And mentioned one young player of the year of the years gone by. Lomax is the 2011 young player of the year.
Well, they're testing out young Max Jowett, aren't they? And Justin Holbrook knows that Wakefield are going to really try and ambush them, get over the top of them, be powerful, play through the middle with the likes of Tyler Randall. Then when Kyle Wood gets on the field again, just add a bit more speed around the ruck.
Jones-Bishop once more needs 2 tries for 50 for Wakefield. Here is Rhys Lynn, who's named in the England night squad and has got designs on going down to Papua New Guinea and Australia in the close season. Good run here from Fifita. Gets the ball away as well, a good offload, but Miller was watched every inch of the way by Percival. It's Hampshire once again. High kick. Barber's underneath this, claims it, reels away from any would-be tackle from Hampshire, but can't get away from Batchelor.
Well, that's how you deal with Barber. When the ball goes up in the air, make sure that the defensive line is in front of him. No one jumps the gun, no one exposes themselves and leaves a gap in the middle of the field.
This is Regan Grace, and James Roby waits at dummy half, 20 metres away from his own line. Makinson not tackled, able to get up and carry on. Now he's tackled, and that's tackle number 3. Roby finds Richardson. McCarthy Scarsbrook. Costello. Matty Costello made only his 3rd appearance of this year against Huddersfield last week. Filling in for Ryan Morgan. Last tackle now for St Helens again. It's with Richardson. High into the air, but that's easy enough, was it? No, it wasn't. And did McCarthy Scarsbrook connect with him in the air? Yes, he did.
Well, Maddie give him some credit before for timing his tackle correctly, and you can just see when he tries to pull out of it, but he still does make contact with him.
Well, I think the contact's after he's actually knocked on, isn't he? I don't think he's interfered with the catch there, so lucky to get away with that one.
He was in the air, though, Stuart.
He's in the air, but he's not being tackled. He was actually standing in front of him. The fullback's made progress towards Lee.
And there's some recognition from St Helens that the work from the backfield, the back 5, Jowett, Johnston, Tupu, Rhys Lynn, Ben Jones-Bishop, making metres. As we're having another look at the incident, if you look at the work from David Fifita in the last set of 6 from Wakefield, he comes in on tackle 4 makes 10 metres, rumbles on for another 5 or 6, gets an offload away. Fafita, speedy ruck, disjointed defensive line, gets an offload away. That's off some of the excellent work from that back five from Wakefield.
David Fafita, Tongan international, 7th consecutive start at prop, and he got a try in last month's 72 points to 10 defeat of Hull FC here.
Well, they're a much better side, I think, when he's on the field. Last week he played for about the first 20 minutes and then came on for the last 20, during which they scored 3 tries. So I think Saints will be pleased when he leaves the field. And the task for the Wakefield side is to make sure that the performance doesn't drop when he takes a breather.
Bill Tupu's making his 38th consecutive appearance tonight. Here goes Fafita again. He's broken the line. He got through Douglas. He has support with him. He's got away from Costello. And it's a good job that Roby, the tackler-in-chief, and Knowles were there. This is Randall. Randall then to Miller. Miller finds Hampshire. Hampshire finds Jowett. Jowett tries to spin away from Lomax, but is finished off by Zed Teya. There's Rhys Lynn. Now it's Hampshire again. And Justin Horrow takes it forward. 8 metres away from the St Helens line. He is pulled to ground. A couple of tackles left this set of 6, though. Here is Miller. And he drops the pass off. That was touched in flight. That's a knock on both ways. Referee will bring it back.
You know, there's some late movement at the back, some good play from that man, Max Jowett. And he's a key indicator to which side the ball's going. If that ball lands in his hands, it's a 3-on-2, and I'm sure that would be a certain try for Wakefield.
It was a beautiful pass, and sometimes the art of being a good fullback, as we see another big run and big charge from David Fafita, who just is unstoppable at the minute.
He's enormous as a man, he's enormous with his efforts, isn't he? And the lift he gives everyone else around him. That's 2 breaks. He's not just a battering ram, he's got good footwork as well for the big fella.
And just going back to Max Jowett, part of the skill of being a top-flight, top-class fullback is arriving at the right time. He was just a little bit off the pace, didn't quite get to that pass, and a mistake and an easy let-off.
Here goes Regan Grace, though, now. He lost his ever-present tag last week, and he missed the defeat against Huddersfield. Lomax. Teya will take it forward, battling his way almost up to the halfway line. Roby waits. Here's Luke Douglas, taking on the big men, going down on the 4th tackle. And this is Roby. He gets it away to Lomax. Lomax has support from Knowles, but thought better of it. Held on. So Roby is waiting at dummy half. This is the last one. And he shaped to kick it, Richardson, left that job then to Barber. The ball stands up neatly for Max Jowett, but he's bundled over the line, and this will be a goal line dropout. That's good pressure from St Helens.
The best set of the game. Excellent play. The amount of movement that the Saints players have around the ball carrier who's going at the line. Ben Barber, he looks up, spots a bit of space at the back. Jowett's just more or less on his try line. As soon as he catches it, goes down to the ground. He's bundled over by Costello. Then his teammates had weight. And you can see what it means to the coaches.
All going swimmingly for much of this season for Justin Holbrook, Sean Long and company. Just a little jitter as we approach the business end of the season. Out of Wembley, the race to Wembley, that's a bitter disappointment for them to lose to the Catalan Dragons in the semi-final, but Catalan were full value for the win, and they will give Warrington a real game, I'm sure, at Wembley a week on Saturday. Challenge Cup final, Super League will take a breather, and then they'll all come back strongly and hunt for places in the playoff semi-finals. This is Amor. Roby waits again, 25 metres away from the Wakefield line. Knowles now. Morgan Knowles getting a start tonight. He has actually started 3 of the last 4. And once again Roby finds Douglas. Douglas then to Lomax.
That's
out the back door.
And that's an example, Eddie, of how I said before the game, I think teams are learning how to cope and how to play and defend against St Helens far better now in this last few weeks than we had in the first half of the season. Ryan Hampshire immediately identified that the ball was going to come to Lomax, close him down quickly. Catalan did something similar in the semi-final. Teams are now starting to find a way, rather than waiting for the ball to get to Ben Barber, which would have been the next pass, and then you're in trouble with the 3v2 and his brilliance. And that's the challenge for St Helens. They either do something differently or they do it far better than what they've just done on that occasion.
Do you think the teams have looked at the Steve McNamara blueprint and the way that Catalan Dragons won the semi-final, and they say now that might be the way?
Possibly so, and I also think that Hull in previous games as well, they tried something similar with some of the things. So every team's got a coach who's going to try his best, giving a second and third viewing on against a game against St Helens, but that's clearly the defensive improvement teams have to make if they want to beat the Saints.
Well, there's talent all over the field in the St Helens jerseys, there's no doubt about that. You can't stand and watch them, you can't stand and admire them, that's our job. We can admire what they do, but the players on the field who are in opposition, they've really got to get stuck in, they've got to get into their faces.
Well, I like Wakefield as well, not only in attack, but also in defence. Stevie Owen, when he was interviewing Chris Chester before the game, he said that the best two attacking teams in the competition, but you look at Wakefield here, as there's a penalty that goes in Wakefield's favour. Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, well, he's involved in an awful lot in the early parts of this game. He knows he's got a lead from the front, and the referee saying that ball was stripped. But what I like about Wakefield, Eddie, is the defensive attitude. It's only the top four in Super League that have got a better defensive record than them. And when they do hit, they hit hard and they work as a unit. And I think that's what gets them through and gets them into the position that they are. They work as a team and work well.
Two sides here who certainly know how to score tries. I think we could see, once the game settles down, plenty of points on offer tonight. 44 here last time between these two, and 64 at St Helens. But all the prospects of being quite a game, this, as Hampshire goes on a little run, the darting run that's halted by McCarthy-Scarsbrook. And a good job he got to him as well. This is Ashurst, 3 metres away. Miller then to Fafita. Standing start for David Fafita, but he doesn't worry about that. He'll use his weight and his strength if he can. Randall, a lovely little dummy from Randall. Douglas got to him and just held him up the right side of the whitewash. He goes to the right-hand side. Quick hands, Jowett. Back to Rhys Lynn. Lynn away from Roby's tackle. Almost gets away from Percival, but it's all hands to the pumps defensively for St Helens. And they halt them in the far corner, and a little frustration for Michael Monaghan and Chris Chester.
Well, good defensist on Tyler Randall. I think it was Luke Douglas, comes up with a brilliant effort. Defensively, they look solid then. Wakefield look really strong. When they're attacking the line, they're offloading the ball. When they get the chances, Tyler Randall missed and failed with that opportunity, but if they can get down here and stay down here, they will come up with some points.
Here's where Saints are finding it difficult this evening. They'll benefit from a penalty, some 3 metres downfield, because we've seen on several occasions when they've been down near their own line, they've only made a maximum of 20 metres, and that's a kick from deep. Wakefield just too keen for the referee Liam Moore's liking.
And St Helens get their first penalty of the match. And the ball is driven in by Matty Lees, who has come into the fray fairly early. McCarthy-Scarsbrook again. I must say, last time we saw Matty Lees and Jack Ashworth, they were very impressive off the bench for St Helens.
When they played against Wigan, they were quality, weren't they? The go forward that they presented.
Douglas has dropped it again. It's a knock-on, it's a free play, and Batchelor will take it forward for Wakefield.
Well, he's not waiting around, is he, James? Batchelor goes to the right-hand side now.
Yes, it was a loose carry from Douglas, no doubt about that. England.
It's a danger for Saints playing.
Jacob Miller pointing, prodding, telling the likes of Fafita where he wants him to run. You can just see him on his left shoulder. And they've got a good relationship, him and Ryan Hampshire. The combination seems to be working well.
Randall again, 30 metres away. Justin Horrow was the runner this time. And Helens' defence stood firm, led by Roby once more. This is Hampshire, drops the pass off to Batchelor. Interesting about Batchelor, his brother, Joe joins St Helens next year from York. Nice little dab, looking for the in-goal area, but didn't quite make it. McCarthy Scarsbrook cleans up for Saints.
Looking for Jacob Miller as well, who's on the outside shoulder of LMS. That ball goes behind him. If it beats LMS, it could have been a try. So again, they're coming up with some decent players, but it's just decent defence from this Saints side that's just keeping them into this game. Look at that. Well picked up, bit of a loose touch as well from Douglas.
Matty Lees takes it forward. 13th appearance off the bench this year. Lomax now drops the ball off again to Zeb Taylor. Ashurst, England, they stand their ground. Help from Randall, he goes down on tackle number 5, and they're still inside their own half, St Helens. So this kick from Richardson goes for length. And Jarrett just picks it up out of the air.
Lovely take from the fullback. I love to see that in a fullback or a winger on that back line. Hurry to get to the ball. Plenty of urgency to collect it on the full and straight on the front foot. And the ruck speed from that point on will always be at a high tempo.
19 minutes gone then. We still wait the first points of this match. Here is that man Tom Johnstone again. Plays the ball to his opposite winger, Ben Jones-Bishop. Remember when John Keir was here, was it last year or the year before, he said, you know, a lot of talk about some of the wingers in Super League, but we're pretty pleased with these two. And why wouldn't they be?
They've both been good. We've got two good centres as well that supply him with some passes as Arona makes a mistake. This is a decent contest, isn't it? Both sides have certainly turned up with their A-grade games.
Zeb Taylor again. Randall and Fifita doing the job on him defensively. 2 changes for Wakefield have been made. Arona and Hubie is on. It's a good run from McCarthy Scarsbrook straight into the face of Jacob Miller, put him on his backside. And what's more, interference by Wakefield, and Saints get a penalty.
And a little bit of frustration from Matty Ashurst. Tinarau Arona, you see that big charge there. That should not be allowed to happen. Those 2 players that we talked about, Matty Ashurst, Arona, they should prevent that. They should get to that player. Back row, as they want to run at those half-backs, tire them out, but it's up to their opposite back row to prevent that from happening.
Luke Douglas trying to hang on this time, midway inside the Wakefield half, on the back of that penalty. Richardson now finds Knowles, gets the ball away to Taylor. Talk about the size in the Wakefield pack, and on the bench there's a little bit of size amongst St Helens as well. And Lees always looks useful when he comes off the bench. Roby is waiting and scheming, as you can see, looking right, looking left, coming this way with Knowles. Knowles then to Richardson. Lovely feet from Richardson. Great defence from Wakefield. They hold him up.
Well, they did well, didn't he? He's got a decent step. He's got some speed as well when he pushes through the line, Danny Richardson, but there was 4 Wakefield players that are alert to the situation.
So the tackle count continues as Douglas drives it in again towards those Wakefield posts. That's tackle number 5. Last one coming up then. Can St Helens get another repeat set here? Lomax to Barber. Barber gets it wide, and Ben Jones-Bishop got to it. He was facing his own line, knocked it down, so no knock on.
It's like a reverse interception, isn't it? He's managed to prevent the pass from being a try pass, really, had Saints got through there with Barber. Turn around quickly, what a brilliant reaction. He throws that left arm out. We've seen him intercept balls going the other end of the field on numerous occasions, taking it in that part of the field and run 90 metres, but certainly saved a try there. The first time that Saints looking at any danger threat with their attack.
It's a solid run from Bill Tupou. They're saying that he is the form centre in Super League. He must have a chance of getting a place in the dream team in 2018. And really consistent for Wakefield this year.
I think he's nailed on for that dream team, and in exceptional form.
Oh, that's shocking now. 2 mistakes in a row. They've hit the 20-minute mark. A bit of fatigue set in, and after having a firm grip on their opponents, even though it's 0-0, just releasing the pressure.
Damn it, boys, come on. Yes, he just maybe took an eye off the ball, Ryan Hampshire. Lee's taking it forward on the restart. Hold, Davey. Hold. And once again it's Roby at dummy half. Mark Percival now, and if Tupu is nailed on for one centre spot. You would think Percival would probably get the other in the dream team. It will be named, I think they named that after the 30th round, don't they? Just before the playoffs get underway. Around about that time anyway, round about Man of Steel time. Knowles' pass on the half volley picked up by Lomax.
Pressure from the inside as well from Wakefield on the ball carrier.
Got a bang on the head there, Lomax. Gets up a bit gingerly. Here's Barber, Zeptea. And Richardson has made a signal out to this right-hand side to Makinson, Costello and McCarthy-Scarsbrook, so maybe a kick's coming out this way. Yeah, here it comes. Crossfield kick. But after Makinson palms the ball down, and Jowett to the rescue, but he's got work to do and does it well. It's the turnover.
Good player, Joe, and that's the go-to man in the earth. Seen him come up with and score some fabulous tries over the years. Tommy Makinson over on the right-hand side for Saints, but going to be a good battle between him and Johnston, isn't it? Both of those wingers exceptional, catching the ball, bringing the ball out of yardage, and obviously scoring the tries. There's a penalty here.
This will help Wakefield. And we're talking about Max Jowett. You have to give him a lot of credit, you know. This is why the penalty's been given. It's another ball steal by McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Max Jowett has seen off the challenge this year of the veteran Scott Grix. The Irish international was named in the 19-man squad for tonight, but didn't get a place in the team. And as Chris Chester said in the pre-match interview, simply because this fella's playing so well.
There's tremendous playing. And Chris Chester, well, he's took one big man off in Fafita. He's brought the other one on in Paulie. Just placed over on the right-hand side.
This is Randall now. It's a scampering run from dummy half. Alertness from Lees in defence. There is Hubie. It's with Miller. Miller gets it away to Jowett. He gets away from Costello, but he can't get away from Morgan Knowles. Matty Ashurst then at dummy half, 9 metres away from the line. Miller to Hubie again. Hubie then untidily, but into the arms nonetheless of Batchelor. Last tackle coming up for Wakefield. Hubie again. Here's Miller. Miller ducks under McCarthy-Scarsbrook's challenge, gets away also from Morgan Knowles. Hubie dabs the ball to the in-goal area, the prop forward, and it was just a little bit too strong. Looked like O'Connor in his prime, or maybe even a McDermott.
Well, he's not known for his kicking skills, is he? Craig Hubie's got a decent offload, he's got a good charge as well at the line, but not a short little kicking game.
You two were good at that though, weren't you?
No. There's the other one, the other youngster, Jack Ashworth.
Yes. Exciting. Roby, always exciting.
Big charge, quick play of the ball, and that man is so dangerous.
And look where they are on the tackle number 2. Here is Ashworth again. Cuts inside, goes away from Hubie, wrestles away from Jowett. Paulie coming over the top as well with Arona. But these are dangerous moments here for Wakefield. Wilkins on the field as well. He's found Richardson. Here is Barber. Barber wide to Makinson. That's it. Now then, this will go upstairs, I think, because that could have touched the whitewash as it was touched down. The player caught the ball. Makinson collided with the post, but they've got a try on the field. The post doesn't matter, but the in-goal touchline does, Stuart.
That's right. Got to get the ball down without touching any part of the line. That's with his foot or the ball itself. Well, he's certainly aerial, as we know he can, and that's inside. And this will be confirmed.
What a finish.
2 inches.
What a finish. Knew exactly what he was doing from the moment he left and started that dive. Had a good grip on the ball. And a real specialist at that skill. Modern day wingers, they need to perfect that. They need to be in the right place at the right time. That's a top-class finish.
Well, it is a top-class finish from a man who scored only once in his last 11 appearances prior to tonight. Tommy Makinson with the try.
Eddie, I'm going to put it down to this man, Jack Ashworth. You want your subs to come on and make an impact. Well, he touched the ball twice in this set. Got into decent field position. Great ball from Ben Barber. And as soon as it hits Tommy Makinson, the finish. And when he gets hold of the ball, he has it in one hand. He knows that he's going to have some pressure from the inside. And look at that for control.
Brilliant try. Was it against the run of play, though?
They have had no territory and no field position, and they've had to work hard to get that field position. But I was really impressed. Talk about the subs, Tez. What about the input when he came onto the field of John Wilkin? We've seen him all year take it right to the teeth of the defensive line, lay it back 6, 7, 8 metres back behind the ball, and then Ben Barber just simply had to catch it and deliver a pass that was spot on. Outstanding try from St Helens.
The most difficult conversion for Danny Richardson. What's he like tonight with his kicking? He is brilliant with his kicking on that evidence. Right on the touchline near side. Makinson's try improved by Richardson. Saints ahead 6-0.
How you end the set of possession, how you turn over the ball to your opponents determines whether you're going to win or not or lose the game. The kick from Craig Hubie that went over the dead ball line was the start of the problem that Wakefield had here. And Saints, as we've seen all season, with a fast play of the ball, are the best team, are unplayable, aren't they? They've marched downfield from a tap 20, quick play of the balls, and then 4 fantastic passes to the right winger for a superb finish in the corner.
Great try, great kick from Richardson, who has now scored in each and every game that he has played in this year. The first kicker through the 100-goal barrier in 2018. Let's get a comment who's on the sideline for us tonight. Brian Carney it is.
Good evening, Edward. Listen,
good evening, Brian.
Kyle Wood, the last of the Wakefield Trinity subs, standing by to come on the field. They may be a little bit disappointed with the impact from the 3 that have come on so far. Paulie, Tinarona and Craig Hubie. Some great stints, the boys have mentioned it, from Fafita, England and Horrow. But St Helens getting down the middle of the Wakefield Trinity side too easily in the build-up to that try from Tommy Makinson. Terry's referenced it already. What can Kyle Wood do when he comes on the field? He has just taken his bib off now. We expect him to get onto the field in seconds. You would imagine speed up that ruck around the middle and give a bit of St Helens a little taste of their own medicine.
Well, he's waiting, as you see. It'll be the number 4, the 4th change that Chris Chester's made in the opening half hour, and he's waiting is Kyle Wood, waiting to inject some pace, and here he comes. And the man he replaces is Tyler Randall, so it's a straight swap. And this is Miller, and Kyle Wood immediately in to the action at dummy half. He'll have a run, gets the ball away to Johnston. Oh, and that came off the knees of Tupu. It was a little bit hurried because I think Johnston knew he was on his way over the whitewash. It was good defence here from Makinson.
It was good play from Kyle Wood to spot a weakness on the short side, but the play that was on was not the first ball, it was the tip on to that man Tupu.
It was very narrow, wasn't it? It was a narrow opportunity. Well, this is the start of a massive weekend of Rugby League live on Sky Sports. Castleford against Warrington tomorrow night. Sky Sports action at 7:30. Team sitting 3rd and 4th in the table. Then on Saturday we have not a double header, a triple header, starting with Salford and Widnes at 3, Sky Sports Arena. After that we will see the Catalan Dragons take on Wigan at 5:15, and we follow that up with match number 3, and we are across the pond in Toronto. Toronto against Hull Kingston Rovers. The Wolfpack come to Super League. Well, they hope they come to Super League next year. They come to Sky Sports on Saturday, 7:30, Sky Sports Arena. 3 massive matches. Meanwhile, St Helens with head and feet at the scrum. Costello. And there's a bit of a argy-bargy going on between Hubie and Ashurst and Ashworth, who won't take a backward step, the 21-year-old.
I like the cut of his jib.
I thought you might.
Stands his ground.
Anyone who has a scrap gets a big green tick from Barry.
Absolutely.
This is Percival. Ashurst got to him eventually, helped out by Arona. On halfway, the Saints, halfway through this set. Here he is, Ashworth. Great offload. Roby will dart down the middle. He'll find Wilkin, who'll find Lomax. And Lomax has jinked his way through, and Lomax scores the second St Helens try. There looked nothing on when he got it, but suddenly the doors opened up, and Wakefield just clocked off in defence, and Johnny Lomax gets the second try of the night here. His 15th of the season. And a little wink of the eye as well. He's delighted with that, and why shouldn't he be? Saints 10-0 up.
Well, Jack Ashworth, he played a part in the first St Helens try. What about that? Delicate little offload to one of the best operators in the game, James Roby. Eyes open, expecting the ball, and this is just smart play from St Helens. Players flooding forward, a nice step from Johnny Lomax, who still has the pace and acceleration to make the most of that opportunity.
There's always close support from Saints. Whenever there's a man who makes a break, just look at the push on the shoulder. Again, John Wilkin, when he passes that ball, he gives it at the right time. Players were probably looking at what Ben Barber's doing on the outside, and Johnny Lomax, when he was setting up for that play, as Justin Holbrook approaches, he's probably thinking, no, it's actually, everyone's fell for it, everyone's going out wide for Ben Barber, and the gap just opened up for him.
Well, has normal service been resumed in the opening 32 minutes here at Wakefield tonight? The runaway league leaders of 2018 look like they're back on the horse, and this kick from Richardson is about to make it 12 points to nil. 12-0 it is. There were question marks against the name of St Helens half an hour ago, not so now.
Well, Wakefield were dominant for a bit the first 20 minutes of this match, and then have been disappointing for the last 10. They need to make sure here, as Saints roll down the middle of the field, that they aren't able to do this again before they get to the half-time hooter. They need to tighten up the defence in the middle and certainly ensure they control possession better when they get it.
Lomax's try then. He's one of 6 St Helens players in the England squad for the end-of-season series against the Kiwis when they come up here. And Wakefield restart, and Barber's underneath the kickoff, and here goes Jack Ashworth once again.
I think Wakefield have got to put the last 5 minutes behind him, conceded 2 tries. And then you said it before, Eddie, when both of these players come on, Matty Lees and Jack Ashworth, they give a real big lift. Again, his second carry. See the amount of times he doubles up his efforts with his carries in a set of 6, Ashworth.
And I'd throw John Wilkin into that mix as well. He's come on and really mixed it up for St Helens. You look at them shift the ball now. The first 10 minutes, they couldn't get out of their own 20-metre zone. Look at that, they're on tackle 3, about to play it on floor. They've made remarkable territory.
And here is Wilkin, who's bringing an end to his 16-year career at St Helens at the end of the season. And I looked on one website today, and they've got him down as 2019 Toronto Wolfpack. Oh, Makinson has scored! He's picked their pockets again down this right-hand side. And Tommy Makinson gets his second try of the night. Well, he's been struggling to get over the whitewash recently. As I said, just 1 try in his last 11 appearances. That was 34-18 at Hull last month. But here tonight, in the opening 34 minutes, he's certainly taken the wind out of Chris Chester's sails, and he scored 2 tries of his own, and Saints are now 16 points to the good.
Well, 3 tries in the last 7 minutes, and the game's all about field position. Where you end your sets, where you kick the ball from, who you kick to. And again, it's the go forward from the youngsters in Lees and Ashworth that get Saints into this position, enables Richardson to kick the ball. And, well, like I said before, Tommy Makinson, he is the go-to man.
There is a nasty knee knock for Matt Jowett and Tommy Makinson in the process of competing for that try. There's a reaction from Justin Holbrook. He knows that they've worked on high kicks. Good kick chase. It looks like Tommy Makinson okay. The young fullback for Wakefield stayed down for a spell. Let's hope he's okay as well.
When I think back to the start of the season, Eddie, my memory's very, very strong images of Tommy Makinson chasing kicks faster with more enthusiasm than any other player in this competition. And for Saints to get back to being at their best, they need that again, don't they? There was no way that any other player was going to take that ball on Makinson when it went high in the air. He had the determination, the pace to get there, and the skill to match it.
Richardson has missed with the conversion, but it was his kick that produced the try. Look at that, time to do that, measured kick. And then, well, where were they, the 2 defenders? Makinson just got between them. Johnston and Jowett nowhere.
You've got to credit the kick as well, because it just fell just behind Johnston, didn't it?
It was a great
Put
kick.
him under pressure, he was backpedaling. Jowett just couldn't get there. Initially, when the ball was kicked, they maybe thought that Johnston would have it, but no. Good play again from the Saints, and a big 7-minute spell.
You say these 3 subs, Wilkin, Lees, Ashworth, they've turned this game around for St Helens.
It's always a little bit of a, as we see, an offload there, Lees offload.
Oh no!
Was it Jack Ashworth again?
Yeah.
Isn't it an offload and then a teammate for Wakefield tries to push it back to his own team?
There's the offload.
Then Hubie knocks it back to the Wakefield side.
Yeah, it looks like he's just played that ball out of there, didn't he?
I'm going to finish my point, so it's a bit of a poison chalice
Oh,
sometimes.
hang on. Saints haven't found touch.
I'll come back to it.
Hope it's worth it. This is Johnstone.
It's not, no. I might come back to it in a couple of weeks.
It's Miller. Miller gets the ball away to Paulie. Paulie, they need something, Wakefield, in the 4 minutes before half-time. This might be it. Well, they get a penalty.
Is that the first time he's touched the ball, Paulie? When they go to him, said before, and when we talk about their feet, are really hard men to handle. When they go down, they land on the front, they get through the line, and they earn a penalty.
So a chance here now, and it's Tupu battling away with 3 defenders. He'll get to his feet, he plays it to Wood, Wood then to Batchelor. Solid hit by Matty Lees. Batchelor, though, inching his way towards the line. It's Wood again, and he gives it to Miller. Miller flat pass to Ashurst. Ashurst gets the ball away to Jowett, but they put the ball down, Wakefield. And Saints have got it back, and they survive. And look at what Chris Chester thinks about that.
Well, the last was it 9 minutes. The game seems to have gone against them. Does a decent job. Just can't control that ball when he's looking to get a clean offload away to the fullback, who'd linked up well round the back, realising that there'd been a lot of numbers drawn in, and that's what it means to him.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the Wakefield dressing room when he gets them inside there in 2 3/4 minutes time.
The first quarter of this game, Wakefield were really pressuring St Helens, keeping them penned in their own 20-30 metre zone and winning the play of the ball, winning the ruck speed. They've not been able to do that for the second quarter.
Richardson with the kick downfield. Johnstone picks it up. Takes on Costello and McCarthy Scarsbrook. There's Miller again. Ben Jones-Bishop. After the opening 20 minutes, though, Saints have really put a lock on the door on their defence.
Well, they've certainly ended up, haven't they? They've been tested. There goes Paulie straight to Taya. Again, finding it difficult to get him down. The numbers, the sheer numbers, just managed to do that.
Craig Hubie gets the ball away to Arona. There's no depth to the Wakefield attack at the moment. It's very flat. Here is Hubie again. Paulie away from Taya. Roby inevitably is the man there who pulls him down. This is Kyle Wood. Hampshire looking to test Regan Grace. Looked like he'd lost it. He's certainly been bundled over the line.
Well, here's a chance that he was just over a minute as they ended up going to stop the clock. Thought it was a scrum to the Wakefield side. Instead, it's a penalty to the Saints.
Tackle was made. Regan Grace having all kinds of trouble with it. Bobbles it, fumbles it, goes to ground at that point. The tackle's made, and that's an illegal move by Ben Jones-Bishop and Reece Lynn.
And the reason for that is because he's on the ground and the ball's on the ground, as soon as he's touched, the tackle's complete, so he can't have that second push.
So we thought at 1 second it was going to be Wakefield's head and feet at the scrum, and then the blast from Liam Moore's whistle gives St Helens a relieving penalty. And they're looking to turn the screw even more up to half-time here with McCarthy Scarsbrook. Got plenty of time, because here's Lomax again. He gets a short ball away to Taya. Reece Lynn was on his back. Last half minute of this first half. 2 tackles remaining for Saints. This is Lomax. Now it's with Wilkin. Solid run from Wilkin. 16 points the difference. There isn't any real need to even think about a drop goal. Wouldn't be any worth other than just the 1 point. He might have got another 4 there had Grace held on to that, but he didn't, and that'll be the last movement of this first half. So Justin Holbrook knew that that was a possible 4-pointer beckoning. Makinson, the star of the show, with his 2 tries in the second half. First in 26 minutes, the second in 33. In between, Lomax with the try. So 3 tries from St Helens in 7 second half minutes. Richardson's added a couple of goals, and St Helens turn round with a 16-0 advantage. The leaders are back in town.
the #1 vitamins for men from Vitabiotics.
What did you say your job is?
I'm an undercover detective investigating the Ku Klux Klan. You did? The KKK is planning an attack. I gotta get in deeper with these guys. You ready? Born ready. Can you dig it?
Right on, right on.
Black Klansman, a Spike Lee joint. In cinemas August 24th.
This Friday, there's an £88 million jackpot. Nicer problems to have. Euro Millions.
Do you want to be a risk taker? A good father? A graphic designer? Teenager? Or a wrestler? Traveler? Adventurer? Animal lover? Dreamer? Richard Wagner? Surfer? Or even a globetrotter? You can. New Citroën C3 Aircross Compact SUV is now available with 4 years 0% APR.
Citroën.
You spray. You trip.
Use Gold. Smell fresh all day with new Lynx Gold Body Spray. When things get really hot, stay dry all day with Lynx Gold Antiperspirant.
With twists and turns around every corner, the Premier League is back. Huddersfield Town, second season in the top flight and raring to go. Spare a thought for Lauren's hand though. Babs gets a little excited whenever the Terriers are on telly. Sam the man, you have to put that Champions League defeat behind you. Repeat after me. It's our year.
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 The Premier League, live on Sky Sports. Take your seat.
The Rugby Championship starts down under as New Zealand take on Australia, live on Sky Sports Action. Celebrate the career of an Academy Award-winning icon with our first ever Denzel Washington collection.
All in a day's work.
Available from Saturday.
That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
Two Super League sides looking to secure semi-final spots in the coming weeks. Castleford Warrington do battle tomorrow at the Mendahouse Jungle, 7:30 p.m. start. Sky Sports Action. Warrington, will they have one eye on the cup final? Castleford, you would think, would certainly hope so. We are at the Mobile Rocket Stadium in Wakefield. Trinity, one of the sides to have beaten St Helens so far this year. They were hoping for a double. They are 16-0 down at half-time. 3 first-half tries, 2 to Makinson, 1 to Johnny Lomax. Richardson successful with 2 converted efforts. Now, while there's a 16-0 gap on the scoreline, the stats are pretty even for both sides. Slightly ahead St Helens in possession and in metres made. I suppose you would reflect that in the fact that St Helens scored 3 tries in a lopsided 7 minutes in that first 40 minutes, which swung the game heavily in their direction. Major question marks asked about St Helens coming into this game. They had, of course, lost that semi-final against the Catalan Dragons, backed it up with a round 1 Betfred Super 8's loss to the Huddersfield Giants. Justin Holbrook, though, referring to a comment he made pre-game, John. He said, we're at the top of the table for a reason. We eventually got a look at that reason in the first half after a very close and tight opening quarter.
Yeah, they did, and it was a defence-orientated first 40 minutes, wasn't it? Which is probably underlined with some of the edits that we've got to show you now. Great tackle by Douglas, it was, on Tyler Randall. That was on 17 minutes. Just after the quarter, 20 minutes gone, Richardson held up, and it took just before the half-hour, 27th minute, for Saints to break the deadlock, making some of the typical trademark finish in the corner. Johnny Lomax, after a James Roby run, too easy, I suppose, in the end. Would be Chris Chesser's reflection on the Johnny Lomax try. Yeah, I think, overread by the fullback there, off to solve the problem that didn't exist. The ball is always a threat, and then this, I think, was the real killer blow. I think this back three could have done a whole lot better than they did in Makinson. We know how good he is in the air and what a threat he is. Okay, you want to start with a look at the defensive bent from both of the sides at the start of the game. You've looked at two of the efforts there on Luke Douglas, on Tyler Randall, and then the effort on Danny Richardson. Some other really good defensive reads as well. Yeah, just quickly, and it's game plan, and it's about assessing where the threats lie with the opposition side and doing what they can to shut those threats out. Makinson here it looks like he's working on Johnston, but this is one of the best things he does in his game. It's one of the major pieces of weaponry he's got. His defence is as good as his attack, shutting off the supply, stopping the major threat with the ball. We know how Bill Tupu, how good he's been in 2018. And conversely, look at Wakefield here. Phil picked this up in commentary. This is Hampshire leaving the line there, really to cut off supply to the major threat in Ben Barber. And it's a good job he did, because that would have effectively been a 3-on-1. So that... fairly on in the game as well, 13 minutes. As we said, it took till the 27th minute, Brian, for the duck to be broken.
I'm not saying it's the cause, but there was certainly a correlation in the substitutions made and the lift in St. Helens' side. Wakefield bringing on 3 guys to play in the middle of the field, so you'd expect St. Helens to get no more joy down the middle of the field than they had in the opening 20 minutes. That's when they got the most luck. Had the most fun time. Straight down the middle, James Roby, Ashworth as well, breaking them up too easily.
2 reasons why Chris Chester would be very disappointed with this, and the first is that they would have done the homework on this particular player with quick restarts and what happens. Second one is, as you said, you expect that fresh middlemen to be on the toes and shoring up the defence. Makinson makes 12-13 metres and gets a reasonably quick play the ball because he does what he does best, gets in between 2 players. Then have a look at what they're able to do off the back of this. They're aiming at the inside of a defender, so it's the first defender off the ruck. Because they're not able to get a great deal of line speed, because of Tommy Makinson's dominance in the tackle, they sneak in behind that a defender. That's Batchelor on that occasion, Ashworth with the run. Have a look how this unfolds. They get Randall again, changed by Roby on the inside of Randall, then finally they get James Roby. This is all in the build-up to Makinson's try. Look at how they duck back inside the ruck here to get that. And one more player I want to pick up at this point. You've got Ben Barber. And he's been the key threat. He would have been one of the main men that they would have talked about all year. Now, I'm not saying there's a great deal of conversation going on at this point in this defence. This is an incredibly reactive defence. But out the corner of your eye, instinct, gut, a defender will gravitate towards a short side and shore up what they think is going to be a threat coming this side of the field. Have a look at what Ben Barber does just before the play. As the play's going, just that break there. There is no way now that anybody in that defensive line can adjust or account for that extra number that Barber
He's
creates.
already sold it to the short side.
He has, and as I said, whether or not they've actually seen it and talked about it is one thing. It's certainly in the corner of their eyes. His timing is perfect, and then the pass is just, I think the pass is something else. That's a 10-metre pass, caught and done in a quarter of a second, and the finish, well, just have another look at that. Sensational.
Oh, brilliant finisher, Tommy Makinson. He's made a trademark try of his. Look, what do Wakefield do to get back into this game? Chris Chester, he'll be going in, I'm sure, saying to his side at half-time, he says, listen, just take that 7 minutes out. We're really in a battle with the team at the top of the table, but you can't take that 7 minutes out. You can't get those 16 points back. How do they drive themselves back into this?
Well, I'll tell you, St Helens' greatest strength is also their potential biggest weakness. When they're incisive and get quick play the ball and momentum, they are devastating around that ruck area. On the flip side to that, you've seen when Fafita's gone through and got half a break, got down quickly. I don't think Saints as a middle unit react particularly well to that, and there are metres to be made. You do feel like Jacob Miller in particular, as well as Ryan Hampshire, need to make more of that once they get on the front foot. But, you know, it works 2 ways, this, and momentum can be shifted. It will have to be forced, but it can be shifted quite easily.
Right, Wakefield have set a target of 5th in the league this year. They've written off the top 4. You can understand probability would say they're not going to make that top 4. They will want to make sure that they back up last week's great win against Hull with a better second-half performance, because there's a bit of a deflated atmosphere in the stadium here today after that 16-0 half-time result.
Yeah, as with a couple of sides in the Super League, there's nothing on the face of it to play for, but it is important that they keep that progression going. This is seen, as we heard from Michael Carter earlier this evening, that, you know, this has been seen as a success of a season, another small step in progression. It would be a shame to finish the season and let that peter out. So whilst I don't think there's any silverware for them to play for, there's certainly that next step in preparation for 2019 that they could do well to take, and what a scalp as well.
Well, they already have a home win against St Helens on their record for 2018. A lot of work, though, for Chris Chester and Wakefield Trinity to try and do the double over the Saints. Justin Holbrook and his side, well, they seem to be back after consecutive defeats in the Cup and in the league. They lead at half-time here at Wakefield Trinity, 16 points to 0. They will get their Super 8s campaign up and running. Remember, they are just 5 points off securing a League Leader Shield for 2018. They can reduce that to 3 if they hold on to this half-time lead and indeed try and extend it. Second 40 minutes with Eddie and the boys on the way after this break.
on him. Luke Gay with a drop goal. He has kicked it.
Is there anyone who doesn't want me dead?
Next time you get in my way, I will not be so gentle. Girl problems again.
Shut up! Hands up! Oh, yeah!
Marvel Spider-Man, only on PlayStation. For the players.
Pay 0% interest at Curry's PC World.
Our new range of LG OLED TVs starts from only $1,799. Spread the cost with 18 months interest-free credit. Own this stunning 55-inch LG V8 for under £100 a month. Go bigger and get the 65-inch for an extra £39 a month. Come and test drive the Dyson V10, their latest and most powerful cordless. Now less than £25 a month over 18 months. Plus, we have interest-free credit on lots of other products too. From the latest laptops and TVs to cameras and built-in appliances. Now you can get the tech you really want. At Curry's PC World, we help you get it right. Oreo Thins. The great taste of Oreo in a thinner and crispier treat.
Right now at Homebase, there's unmissable deals for your home and garden. Get in quick for 20% off garden and DIY power tool brands like Ryobi, Azito, Karcher, Bosch and more. And hurry in for 3 for 2 on all paint and wood care. Offer ends soon, so don't miss out. Homebase, always your home, always low prices.
We all get ready for something every day. But how do you know when you're totally ready? With Colgate Total Proof, you can see and feel it cleaning. It turns into a blue foam as you brush and fights bacteria on teeth, tongue, cheeks and gums, so you know you're totally ready for life. Colgate Total Proof.
The Sky Store sale is here.
Awesome!
Celebrate summer with these family favourites, all yours from just $3.99.
Buckle up, boys.
All right, it's go time. We'll have you jumping for joy. Choose to own on digital, DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah, baby. Awesome. This is pretty cool. When it's cut all together like that, you really get a sense of the scope.
The Sky Store sale is now on.
Lance Clients. He's looking for a partner. I'm gonna do whatever I want, whenever I want.
We're going to war.
Brand new Ballers starts tonight at 10:10 on Sky Atlantic.
And perhaps weave a little bit of magic. Saturday, other than be in front of your TV set, because we've got over 10 hours of rugby league for you on Sky Sports this Saturday. 2 from the NRL Saturday morning, 8:25 and 10:30. Wests against St George, Illawarra, Cronulla against North Queensland. And then in the afternoon we have a triple header of matches from the qualifiers and the Super 8s. 2 from the qualifiers, Salford Widnes at 3 and Toronto against Hull KR at 7:30. Sandwiched in between, Catalan against Wigan. All on Sky Sports Arena on Saturday as we cross the globe in rugby league this weekend. We're here at Wakefield tonight, and Wakefield kick off in the second half against St Helens, trailing, as you see, by 16 points to 0. And after a relatively solid first 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes went very much against Wakefield, and Saints took a stranglehold on this match with 3 tries. And they will look to add to that in the second half.
There was a lot of purpose the way they ran the ball. Another strong carry here from LMS, and Wakefield. It'd be interesting to see what was said at half-time, because they really did fall off the perch with a lot in the final 13 minutes. They need to make sure that they can try and compete, and if not dictate the pace of this game in the opening 10 minutes in this second half.
You felt that, Johnny Lomax?
Oh, he didn't stand and wait to see what Johnny Lomax was going to do. Shoulder riding.
Richardson's high kick, and Johnstone is underneath it. And 15 metres away, he makes another 10 before the 3 defenders get him down. Look at this. Bang.
Again, that's what Terry's talking about. They can't stand and watch and wait and allow St Helens to dictate the pace and tempo of this game. Get up and shut those players down.
Well, Wakefield completed their 200th Super League win at Hull at the KCOM Stadium last Friday. They were full value for their 31-13 victory. And they've racked up 104 tries this year so far from 24 games. They have been as entertaining as any in the Super League in 2018. But they need to find a few tries in this second half if they're to get back in this match. And that's what they're looking to do here with Hampshire. He gets it away to Rhys Lynn, but Regan Grace stands his ground and holds on to him. And then the reinforcements arrive in the shape of Taya and Percival. He goes down on tackle number 5, eventually does Rhys Lynn. This kick from Hampshire then goes from right to left. It's hanging in the air. It's claimed. And, well, the pass came off Costello's fingertips backwards. I think there was a knock-on previously by Wakefield. So that's the 0 tackle. 6 to go from here then for Saints.
Well, good take from Tupu, but they just couldn't come up with any single plays then. Saints looked well, they worked off the ball. The ball goes forward there from Wood. Saints get the ball back, but again, it's good, strong carries, the basics. Look at the scanning from James Roby behind the play of the ball, looking for someone who's just switched off as they go wide.
And Barber just dumps the ball into the arms of Percival.
It's beautiful under defensive pressure from St Helens.
Percival, he evaded about 3 or 4 before he was collared and then eventually put to ground by Ben Jones-Bishop. This is Ashurst again. And Hubie very quickly in his face with Kyle Wood. Roby gets the pass away to Wilkin. Wilkin finds McCarthy Scarsbrook. And backing up towards the Wakefield line. Eventually goes down. 5 gone, last one coming up then. Short side here from St Helens. Richardson into the air, and that goes out on the 4.
It's not his best kick, Richardson, and Justin Holbrook knows that they get to the end of the set, they don't get the kick where they want it. They wanted to kick it a bit deeper. It was more or less an attacking kick where you've got to place it in a better position. Trying to open up the game, offloading the ball. You saw Lewin McCarthy Scarsbrook when he went into contact, turn around looking to promote the ball to somebody.
Ben Jones-Bishop has seen more of the ball down the middle of the field tonight than out on his wing.
Well, Wakefield need a David Fafita-style player in the middle of the field to make that impact, to put a dint in the St Helens defence, to take his team forward, find that quick play of the ball. But without him on the field, they need some points. They can't wait for the last 20 and hope that he's going to come back, bring them all on play.
This is Miller. Nice flick pass to Bill Tupu. He's got Kyle Wood in support, and that's a great start to the second half for Wakefield. Just what they needed. Kyle Wood, the first half substitute. Almost 260 appearances now in a career that began at Doncaster 10 years ago. And that's a vital try for Wakefield as they try and get themselves back into this Super 8s match against the league leaders. Wakefield 4, Saints 16.
Well, they had to be the first to score the try. The kick from Danny Richardson turns the ball over to them, and when they give it to that man, Tupu, he can create his own space. He is the go-to man, and when Jacob Miller gets a nice offload out the back, Tupu gets the ball, he goes past Richardson and gets it inside to Kyle Wood. That certainly does change the tempo of the game every time he's introduced from the bench.
Beautiful movement from Wakefield. I don't think for 1 minute that was made up. See Jacob Miller, goes on the short side, runs into the air defender, drags the defender across, and a lovely one-armed offload.
And the extras are added by Ryan Hampshire. And so Kyle Wood made a circuitous route. He started at the Wakefield Academy, went to Doncaster, Castleford and Huddersfield, back here. And that's an important contribution in the second half.
And we saw a lovely replay there of Jacob Miller dragging defenders across, creating an opening and a chance for that player who has the speed, he has the skill, and Wakefield first to score in the second half.
Good kick, good kick.
Jowett allowed it to bounce, and then he does really well to extricate himself, and here is the break. And he's got Hampshire with him. Hampshire takes the pass. Now it's Hampshire against the rest. Men out wide. And they find Bill Tupu. And Bill Tupu is brought down by Makinson. A very important challenge by the St Helens winger that.
Outstanding play from Wakefield. Look where they are now.
Here is Ashurst. This is the start that Chris Chester would have been dreaming about when he came out of the dressing room for the start of this second half. This is Arona. Arona charging towards the line, getting there, but then being pulled back by Ashworth and company. Wood, try scorer, gives it to Hubie. Hubie trying to use brute force against Wilkin and Roby. Here's Wood again, finds Hampshire, quick hands, but a little bit loose. Now that was touched by Regan Grace. Is that going to be 6 to go? Because he advanced towards the ball, and it is 6 to go. And Rhys Lynn heard that call, I think, just at the right time, held on. So 6 more tackles here for Wakefield, as Paulie runs the ball straight at the chest of Ashworth. Huge figure of a man. Wood fires the pass to Hampshire. Hampshire then to Miller. Good defence from McCarthy Scarsbrook. Max Jowett, the full-back, is at dummy half. He finds Hubie. Hubie tries to shrug Wilkin away, but Matty Lees this time, and Wilkin asking for a knock-on. Nothing's coming. So it's Wood to the left-hand side to Miller. Further wide it goes to Tupu. Tupu still, he got a couple of smacks in the face. He releases the ball to Miller. Miller tries to go inside them. He gets to the line, but they cannot put it down, courtesy of Roby's tremendous tackle on the ground. Last one coming up here then for Wakefield. From Lees it finds its way off the boot to Lomax. And Lomax, they're going to get a repeat set at least on Wakefield.
Well, that's the character that the coach would have wanted. The start in this second half, they've been exceptional. That man in particular, James Batchelor, you look at his stats for this game, 41 tackles, and from the kickoff, like Phil said, look at that for the kick, but it was the effort, the missed tackle. I think it was Matty Lees. And then when Max Jowett gets this ball, it's good play. A nice effort as well from Ryan Hampshire. Hits the ball out wide, but good defence from Saints to get back. But that's where the field position comes from.
Pity the pass out wide found Tupu and not Johnston, because he would have had the pace, I think, to get over the line. Anyway, they've got a repeat set.
And they scored twice from a goal line dropout last week. They'd love to make it 3 in a row here now. It's a great kick though. It's gone over the halfway line, so certainly the Saints have bought themselves some distance from the line.
And it was a wonderful chase from their own line as well. The Hubie offloads and Miller picks up the loose ball. Attacks down that left-hand side again. And he takes the tackle from Costello. This is Ashurst. Arona. Amor missed him. The other 3 didn't. And Wood is waiting, 30 metres away. Here goes Batchelor again. James Batchelor makes 10 metres. Parked here now on the 20-metre line. Wakefield with Wood. He goes left and finds Miller. Here is Ashurst. McCarthy Scarsbrook did well. Tried to go in between 2 St Helens defenders then. This is Miller again. Looping pass to Arona. And Arona can't get away from John Wilkin. Wood again. Gets the ball away to Jowett. Jowett tips it in field. Comes off the fingertips and Saints survive. But McCarthy Scarsbrook got a bit of a crack then.
Well, there was a swipe at the ball, wasn't it? LMS, as brave as you like. He goes down, he tries to get this ball. Jacob Miller thinks he's going to kick that ball. He just kicks the shoulder of Louis McCarthy. He's got to be brave, and he put himself in a position that not many players would as well.
Well, it's clearly caught him with the foot, which could be seen as dangerous play. We have to remember that the video referee input has changed slightly in these qualifiers and the Super 8s. That the video referee will not come in and inform the referee on foul play unless it's something that requires a sin bin or a dismissal. And clearly that doesn't warrant it, so we continue with the handover.
So it wasn't worth the penalty, that, Stuart?
If the on-field officials miss it, then the video referee can't give that information to give a penalty. It's only if they can advise the referee if he's seen it and give him extra advice, but they can't just come in.
Well, they give him advice about that if he wanted to. Hubie, I think that's Amor who's gone down.
What a turnaround for St Helens, defending the line for 3 or 4 minutes.
That's got to be more than a penalty, hasn't it?
Kyle Amor will consistently do this when he's carrying the ball up. He'll move from lane to lane, he'll shift left, shift right, and a flailing arm from Craig Hubie gives a penalty. No damage done to the front rower.
He just wants a word with him, though, does Liam Moore. Craig Hubie is being called.
Hey, it's gone out of the head.
Oh, he's going to go to the bin for 10 minutes. Craig Hubie, 333rd appearance of his career, 16th season in the game, will take 10 minutes out, and that could be a big blow for Wakefield. I think it's deserved, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of miles on the clock, Craig Hubie. He knew straight away that he was beaten by Kyle Amor. Just a couple of blinks, pushed the cheeks out. Good footwork at the line. They've got to do it tough now without Craig Hubie.
Well, they had 12 men last week at one point against Hull and still managed to go on and win the game. Admittedly, that was a fullback and not a front row, but they've certainly shown the ability to win. Difficult here now. Saints looking to having a slow 10 now to kick on and speed up the game.
Theo Farge is out there. He's just found Richardson with the pass, who in turn has found Wilkin, and Louis McCarthy scarred, but none the worse for the kick in the shoulder. Farge waiting once again. McCarthy Scarsbrook slowly to his feet. This is Matty Lees. 12 metres out the Saints. Red alert for Wakefield here. McCarthy Scarsbrook again to within 3 metres of the line. Farge wanted to get on with it. Gives it to Richardson. It bounced off his chest and knock on, and that will be a relief for Wakefield. They'll be in no hurry to restart.
He saw Paulie coming off the line. Danny Richardson, just have a little look here. Look, he gets up quick, Paulie. Puts pressure on him. And out the corner of his eye, he thought, well, I've got to catch the ball first of all, but I don't want that man hitting me as well.
He almost looks like, as the ball's in the air, he's running away from the ball because he knows that Paulie's getting ready to hit him as soon as he catches it.
He was in his shadow, wasn't he?
You think that's clever play,
That is
really?
a big shadow, that one.
You wouldn't really try and catch it and stand your ground and then try and bump him off with your shoulder, would you?
They have an expression around these parts. He's as big as a barn door.
Can you spell door?
D-W-O-R.
So it's Wakefield's scrum anyway. They'll get head and feed. And now then, the 12 men will try and hold on to the ball for 6 and pump it deep downfield at the very least. Here he is again. He's lost a boot, but he's still plowing forward. They will not. Wood comes to the right-hand side and Reece Lynn. He gets away from a couple.
The next 5 or 6 minutes are very important for Wakefield because not only will they get back to 13 men, but I suspect they'll see David Fafita back on for the final quarter, and if they're only chasing 10 points, they give themselves a chance.
That was Wood to Miller again. Stand down the left-hand side. Costello with the tackle. Fafita is still on the sideline. It won't be long, though, before he will be back. And that's a good kick down the line. That's A nice little time waster from Kyle Wood.
Quality kick and an intelligent kick as well. We talked about the 12 players and Craig Hubie being off the field, but it is a game of patience for Chris Chester. You can't leave Fafita off the field too much or too long, but also he can't put him on in that time period where he thinks he might flag at the back end of his stint. So, very important player. The momentum that they had in that first 15 or 20 minutes was off the back of some of that fantastic work by David Fafita.
Say there's no rush to the scrum, but the referee has called time off.
Hands over.
And Richardson will feed the scrum here. Comes out the back via Farge to Makinson.
Then they've got to get through these next couple of sets of 6. Wakefield, get the spacings right in the defensive line, get up, hit, hold them up, don't let them drop to the ground. See, getting tied up, trying to make it sloppy as Theo Farge goes out from dummy half.
Finds Taya. To his feet and plays it to Farge again. Here is Amor, now that's Wilkin. Finds Richardson, finds Barber, Costello.
It's good defence as well.
They slid across, didn't they?
Well, Terry mentioned the spacing. Sometimes when they're a player down, they can compress the line and leave players outside the edge and try and test teams to get outside, or they can defend the space.
Good work that by McCarthy Scarsbrook. Here goes Lomax. Lomax has support with him. It bounces off the knees of a Wakefield defender. Lees is after it, but the referee will bring it back. Forward pass, he's ruled. So Wakefield survive and they get another scrum, this time a scrum feed to Wakefield.
Well, they get the ball and they get it back close to their own line, and Saints again just trying to up the tempo of the game, create momentum by just playing through the middle. Johnny Lomax with good footwork gets through the line, beats the forwards. The forward pass there as he's trying to link up with Matty Lees and Danny Richardson. He had the options there. It was Max Jowett who was at the back, would have come up with the tackle on that man.
Again, time off. Lomax making the break, but you'll see it just drifts forward.
You see, he passes that ball because Jowett was there. He would have had him covered.
Time off.
Disappointed Justin Holbrook.
Says, how can it be a knock-on? If I guessed that with my interpretation of what he was asking, but I think like Paul Wellens down here below us, he thought the pass was a legal one. On replay, we've seen it's gone forward.
Ben Jones-Bishop now, once again, in centre field for Wakefield. Beat St Helens here in April after they've gone on an agonising 5-game losing run, Wakefield. But they'd lost the previous 3 matches by margins of 2, 1 and 5 points. That's why it was agonising for them. Tupu's pass to Johnstone just went up in the air. Tupu once more. And he's wiped the tackle count down, I think, because the ball went in the air off of St Helens' arm. So Tupu hangs on. They've got 6 more to go from here. McCarthy Scarsbrook rolls out the way as Ashurst runs it downfield, goes straight over the top of Farge. This is Wood, and he finds Horrow. Wakefield score here. The 12 men, they really will be encouraged for the last 20 minutes. 4 tackles gone. They're on the Saints line. It's with Wood. And it's Paulie trying to barge his way over. I think he has done. I think he has. Sheer weight of Paulie against 2 or 3 defenders. And Wakefield, with 12 men, fight their way back into a match. Yeah, I've seen that somewhere before.
Well, I'll tell you what, the barn door has just got over for a try. And that's just simple physics.
Barry, that must be like looking in a mirror for you.
No, I've got a 6-pack, mate. Here's the decision from Tommy Makinson. He does that so well, continuously, Tommy Makinson. But on that occasion, he got it wrong. 6 more tackles, and Paulie is continually looking to find Johnny Lomax one-on-one. He knows reversing forward, 4-wheel drive, he's going to get over every time.
He's been outstanding in recent weeks, and I thought that when this ball was passed, it was like something you'd see like under 7s or under 8s. Give it the big man near the try line, and there might not be a gap, but we'll make a gap, and Chris Chester knows it wasn't his side's first 40 minutes, but they've started well in this second half.
Tries in 4 in a row for Paulie now. And if Ryan Hampshire can kick this, Wakefield are back within 4 points of the league leaders. And he has kicked it.
It's a phenomenal kicking record, isn't it? 90% success. I mean, he's only taken over the kicking midway through the season. That really does give the side a boost here now going into this final 20 minutes. Close to on try line, his size has got him over. He's intelligently pushed backwards and then turned to the side. The diet's working a treat.
Second glance, it is like looking at him.
Well, he's not too shy to show it off, is he?
He's thinking, I've paid for it, so I'm going to show it off.
Well, he's the classic case. You don't need to be an athlete to play this game, although many of our great stars are, but you need to be an athletic rugby player. And the pace and size and power and skill of those two players, Fafita and Paulie are reaping rewards for Wakefield this evening and have done all year.
Well, remember, they're down to 12 men with Hubie in the sin bin, and here he goes again, but this time he's gone without the ball, and McCarthy Scarsbrook is very quick to drop on that loose ball. But they're down to 12 men, and they've really come back into this match.
And when you're down to 12 men, Eddie, you don't want to be, you've got to take your chances, but you don't want to be making mistakes so close to your line. Trying to thread him through that defensive line, comes back on the angle, but unfortunately drops the ball.
So it was a 0 tackles, that's a 7-tackle set, and there's the second of the real count. This is Barber. And Barber just gone slightly off the ball lately, but he remains Super League's top try scorer. But he hasn't scored against Wakefield in the 2 previous meetings. And he's so far drawing a blank tonight as Richardson goes down under the weight of Paulie again.
And they're almost back to 13 men, just seconds remaining for Hubie.
Zeptea, and the back his way to the line, gets the ball away to Percival. Percival finds Farge. That's a great try. That is a great St Helens try. There was nothing on. The ball was slipped out of the tackle. Theo Farge slipped the ball to Mark Percival, and Percival gets over for Theo Farge rather gets over for his try. Percival involved in all the action as well, taking the pass, quick hands, but this is where the try stemmed from.
Always dangerous when you play against Saints and you make a mistake in your own half. And Saints are so good playing second phase rugby. They get the ball, they offload it. Percival does a decent job of fixing a runner. And as soon as Percival gets the ball, he's looking to link up with somebody. And Theo Farge knows if he just pushes up into the next hole, there's going to be some space created from the England international.
It's the hallmark of a fabulous side. The minute that things change and they go off script is everybody standing back. Are they in fight, flight or freeze mode? Well, St Helens, they get on the toes, they're in flight, and that flight has bought them 4, possibly 6 points.
Yes, Richardson should add the extras here, and he does. The Revival just loses a little momentum, but it's still only 10 points.
Well, it's interesting now that the coach St Helens decided, he started in the last couple of weeks to put Theo Farge on the field for a little bit longer. James Roby's been off now, taking a bigger break, and he's playing that number 9, sharing the workload out amongst those two hookers a little more than they did earlier in the season.
Right, let's go down to Brian on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. Of course, the gap extended out to 10 points now, but when it was just 4 points, thanks to Paulie's try, I had a quick word with the strength and conditioning coaches from Wakefield Trinity. They said they do a lot of wrestle, as we know all teams do. Nobody can beat Paulie in the wrestle. He is weighing, get ready for this one, 2 guys beside you now will feel happy about this, 133 kilos. I'll be very surprised if there's a heavier player in Super League. Wakefield will look to get that player on the right-hand side of the field, on the ball, and at St Helens more often as this second half wears on.
What's that in real money, that weight? 133 kilos?
20 stone, 9 pounds.
It's marvellous,
I've just worked that out on my fingers. I'm just
20 stone
and 9 pounds, yes, phenomenal weight, isn't it? And as a conditioner of mine used to say, you can be as big as you want, Barry, but whatever you have to carry, and he carries it well, Paulie. Still has agility. He obviously, you know, in terms of conditioning, you can tell when he's tired, you can see it in his body language, but he manages to get through those periods.
20 stone, 9 pound. Aren't search engines wonderful things?
Oh, that used to be his weight. Either already. He nailed that number really quick for me, and he's not very good at numbers.
He's seen that on the scales, hasn't he, where he gives you kilos and pounds.
I think he's just giving his secret away, to be fair.
It was only last night as well he got himself weighed.
Well, there he goes. He goes off, and is it David Fafita that's come back on?
I'm feeling a bit weight conscious here, mate. You're all having a go at me.
Are we weightists, Barry? Do a
what a tackle!
Is that Mark Percival on Bachelor?
Yes, it was. Credit Bachelor for getting up.
Credit both players, really. Look, it was a bit of a slow pass. See his head drop back then.
Good player. They tried something here now to keep it alive. Breaking up the play. They get a penalty here. Offside. Accidental offside.
He's ruled that the ball went forward.
Oh, yeah. Well, if that's the case,
Douglas,
that might have been offside as a penalty, mightn't it?
Does Douglas touch it?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. He touches it there.
If he's offside, it would naturally be a penalty, wouldn't it?
MacArthur Scarborough actually plays the ball from behind where he played it. So it's difficult if it's gone forward.
Well, Wakefield will get the possession. That's the important thing for them.
And it's possession that they need as well, isn't it? In Saints' half. Played really well in this second half. They've got to continue, though, get over the try line.
Reece Lynn will try and do that. Comes off Percival this time, but there's plenty of dark grey jerseys in support. Here's Hubie back out of the sin bin. Actually not been a bad 10 minutes for Wakefield with him off the field. Horrow to Miller. Jowett, was that touched? Yes, it was. The tackle count is wiped down again. John Stone for Wakefield. And the ball stolen by Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook in the challenge.
The third penalty is given away in this game. Louis McCarthy. You see, just strips it here.
You can't have any argument about that, but he was questioning the decision with the referee.
Well, the only thing that could be going through his mind is he thought it was one-on-one.
Miller. Fafita. 10 metres away. First tackle this set. Struggling to his feet, Fafita. Wood to Miller. Back it comes to Hampshire. Hampshire to Reece Lynn. Good defence from Percival, but he managed to get the ball away just the same to Jones Bishop. Making us progress forward, Wakefield. It's all lateral at the moment. Can Hubie do something here? Well, maybe Horrow can, maybe Miller can. Up and high and wide. It's Bill Tupu. Great try, Wakefield. Great try, Bill Tupu. From one side of the field to the other. They didn't make much progress forward, but once the second or third pass in that sequence came about, Tupu got on the end of it, and Tupu wraps up a dozen tries for Wakefield in Super League this year on his 38th consecutive appearance.
Well, St Helens illegally try and slow the play of the ball. I don't know whether this is a deliberate attempt to let them get set and hopefully deal with what Wakefield are going to throw at them. But we've seen both sides this evening, off the back of offloads, start again, get on the front foot. Tommy Makinson, outnumbered, doesn't know whether to come in and shut Bill Tupu down, wait to see if the ball gets to Johnston, and he ends up doing neither. Offload, pass, and Bill Tupu, again, outstanding form this year, plucks it out of the air and plonks it in the corner.
Craig Hubie does a decent job, doesn't he? Kyle Amo flies out the line. He beats him, he gets the ball out wide, nice offload. Jacob Miller then finds a long ball, and that's certainly got him back into the game.
Now then, we said Hampshire kicking at 90% this season since he's taken over the job. He's 100% tonight. And he's just missed with that. You know, the meeting with Wakefield and Saints here last year was as good as any of the 28 matches played in these Super 8s. Saints won on that occasion 18-16 thanks to a Johnny Lomax try and a Percival conversion. Look at this from Wakefield now as they mount the comeback. And of course that win for St Helens here last year was the difference between them finishing inside or outside the playoff places for the semi-finals. Castleford-Warrington is a match tomorrow between the teams sitting third and fourth in the table. It's a 7:30 start on Sky Sports Action. And on Saturday, 3 games, 2 from the qualifiers. Salford Widnes kick us off. Massive match that for Widnes. They don't lose. 3 o'clock Sky Sports Arena, followed by Catalan, the Cup finalists against the Wigan Warriors at 5:15, same channel, and wrapped up by a trip across to Canada. Toronto come on Sky Sports against Hull Kingston Rovers. Likewise, Hull KR, having lost the first week, they can't lose that one either. Fantastic matches on Saturday from the Betfred, Super 8s and the qualifiers.
I think we've got a decent finish here, haven't we? Not a bad set, and Kyle Wood again going from dummy half, trying to isolate and fix a couple of Saints defenders, but they get that tackle right then on Horror.
Wood really sparks them up, doesn't he? When he comes on, he's been on for quite some time now. This is Miller's high kick. Percival claims it though. Matty Ashurst and John Stone get to him. Costello, that was high.
Just about to say then, Eddie, the biggest thing now is that when you're behind on the scoreboard and you're running out of time, your discipline's got to be right as well. With and without the ball, you've got to make sure you do the right things, complete your sets and really take the game to your opponents.
Liam Moore could have chosen 2 of those. Contact to the head, either or. Saints in Wakefield's half of the field with Luke Douglas. A 6-point lead, but 12.5 minutes remaining. Or rather 11.5. I haven't got the same search engine as Barry. Here is Percival. He can just straighten it up now any minute. There he goes. He had McCarthy Scarsbrook on his shoulder, couldn't smuggle the ball to him. Roby. Morgan Knowles. Solid run from him. He's come on this year in leaps and bounds, the Welsh international. Roby to Wilkin. Richardson escapes one net, can't get away from Horrow. 4 tackles gone, Wakefield defending stoutly. 2 more to defend here as Farge finds Barber. Barber then just offloads almost casually to Percival. Percival takes the return from Wilkin, then gives it to Douglas. Douglas to McCarthy Scarsbrook. Don't think he's been off tonight, has he? That might have been a high shot from Lynn. His head went back. Fafita claiming there was a knock on. This is Richardson, slides the kick in. It's standing up nicely, and it is a try for Luke Douglas. Luke Douglas gets the try for St Helens if he was onside as he chased the kick forward.
Tackle 5. Have a try.
Have a try in the field.
Looking for onside, offside, please, and then going through to the grounding.
I just want to see whether we're onside from the kick, and all the chasers are behind the kick on the right-hand side, and indeed on the left, the ones that are chasing. It's just whether he gathers the ball cleanly without knocking on against anybody, and then the grounding from there. Again, we know they're onside from that. Just does he get the ball in his possession cleanly without knocking on? And there, yeah, he's got possession. Does he get it on the ground? Still in possession and down to the ground. Yeah, this will be confirmed.
Solid try from Luke Douglas. It's going to be confirmed by video referee Chris Kendall in a moment. Well, he's obviously not 100% convinced.
Well, I think he may well be looking to see whether anybody's prevented from tackling him because of the other St Helens players in there. I can see that there's nobody really going to get in his way. I think that's a fair try.
I think this is going to be given now after that last little look from Chris Kendall. After which we'll be looking for you to press your buttons at home and vote for the man of the match. The try is given to Luke Douglas. Only previous try was in defeat here in April for Luke Douglas in 2018, so he likes this ground.
Well, they were offloading the ball at will, St Helens, and they went from side to side, and it didn't look like they were ever in danger of breaking the defensive line of Wakefield, but they just created enough chaos. Players pulled out of position, perhaps find themselves defensively in a spot they're not used to. A beautiful kick, well executed from Danny Richardson, gave the front row an opportunity to put himself in the frame, and he was good enough to collect that ball and score the try.
Well, Justin Holbrook, Sean Long, they know they've been in a battle royal, a much closer effort in the second half. It's not over yet, you're right.
Still not safe, 9 and a bit minutes, 9.5 minutes, 10 points.
Well, it might be 12 in a moment. Danny Richardson lining this conversion up. Super League's top goal kicker, as we say every time we see him. And that's the reason why it's a 12-point ball game now. 16-28, and time for you via the hourly gap to vote for your man of the match. The Betfred man of the match tonight will go either to David Fafita of Wakefield, Jack Ashworth, Tommy Makinson of St Helens, or Jacob Miller of Wakefield. So you can make your choices now on the Our League app on your mobile devices and see who we get as the Betfred man of the match. 4 names: Miller, Ashworth, Fafita or Makinson.
Well done from Wakefield, short kick-off.
And Miller's got it back, one of the candidates.
Contested by Johnston, and they've got possession.
This is Ashurst. Kyle Ward finds Anthony England. Here is Justin Horrow. 4 tries in his last 5 games. Could do with another one here in the last 8.5 minutes. Miller, they need a try here to Wakefield. And there's quick hands from Bill Tupu, and Wakefield claiming it was touched in flight by Saints.
Yeah, and again, he's done that all evening, Tommy Makinson. It's a tactic he uses. He gets up quick. If he thinks he can get to the second player, or second to the end, and shut that player down, he does. Watch the decision. He gets up on Bill Tupu, tries to prevent him from passing. Doesn't look on that view that he touched it.
I think he's asked Chris Kendall just to have a look at this. And he's had 2, and that's missed. That's been missed by Makinson, so it's going to be head and feed to St Helens.
Well, good work from Makinson to hurry Bill Tupu into making that decision. Difficult skill to catch and pass at the same time under pressure, and you're almost doing it blind. You're doing it out of your peripheral vision. You're going on instinct on where you wing it. Tom Johnston hugging his touchline. Good play from St Helens.
Just less than 8 minutes remaining, 12 points the difference. Scrum not to the satisfaction of the referee. Looks like St Helens are going to get revenge for their only away defeat this year on this ground earlier in the season. It's been a game display though from Wakefield. Tell you what, Costello would have felt that as Fafita came in over the top, second man in.
Yeah. I said Paulie was 133 kgs.
Well, Brian will tell us in a moment. He'll be investigating.
I dare say David Fafita won't be too far off that mark either. 2 big men, big impacts in the game. It's how Chris Chester has to manage those players to get the maximum output out of them.
Try scorer Douglas, he played the ball to Roby, he found Wilkin. This is Richardson, here is Barber. Now they've got out wide to Costello. Costello got away from the weak challenge by Miller. Good job that Ashurst was there. High kick here from Richardson. Oh, they're allowing it to bounce. And Regan Grace has it. Oh, and Regan Grace has seen a gap. And Regan Grace is good on his feet and is quick and will seal the win for Justin Holbrook's men here at Wakefield. Terrific try from Regan Grace. The kick was allowed to bounce, fatal. And Grace, well, he missed his first game of the season last week against Huddersfield in the defeat. He got 2 tries against Wakefield in June in the home win. None since. The first try here in 5 matches for Regan.
Oh yes, we've got some quality on the edges on both teams. Regan Grace, look at him. He stood still, he looks up. Defenders either side are probably more focused on the player they think Regan Grace is going to pass to. Kick goes high, it's allowed to bounce. Watch the assessment from Regan Grace here. Back to play, stand still, and then bang, he drops the accelerator. Bit of a shuffle, bit of a step, That's fabulous.
Explosive from Regan Grace. And the St Helens players know exactly that. And he gets 3 kisses from Tommy Makinson. That'll clinch it for St Helens. Justin Holbrook said before the match, 5 points needed for the league leaders' shield. It's down to 3 now. They can touch it just about. They'll be given the shield after 2 more wins, and then they can relax. They know they're safe in the knowledge that they're getting a home playoff semi-final anyway, so they will be 1 match away from Old Trafford, and they'll have the first piece of silverware of the year. Richardson adds the extras. 34-16 St Helens. Justin Holbrook's men inching towards that league leaders' shield.
Well, you don't often get the space that Regan Grace got then on that occasion. Just got to show, given that space, he is probably the best winger, and Chris Chester knows that his side went hard and pushed the league leaders as best they could, but they've been the second best team here tonight for 75 minutes. In fact, for the first 20, you'd say Wakefield had control, but they were unable to put the points on the board when they were in that dominant position.
Oh, here goes Makinson from the short kick-off. The referee has called them back for a penalty to Wakefield anyway.
And you know, it's not often we're in a game in Super League where you have 4 wingers that you're pretty confident could go the full length. Tommy Makinson, he gets up, there's the collision, Wilkin, obstruction, player hits the deck. But those 4 wingers on the field, Grace, Makinson, Jones Bishop and Tom Johnston, real speedsters.
This is Anthony England for Wakefield. Now, all attention from St Helens will switch to the south of France on Saturday live on Sky Sports when Catalan take on Wigan, because should Wigan slip up against the Challenge Cup finalists, St Helens actually could win the league leaders' shield in their next game in the Super 8s, and that is at home to Wigan on the 31st of August. Catalan might have their eyes on Wembley. We'll find out live on Sky on Saturday. That's going to be a penalty to Wakefield. Well, he's taken it quickly, David Fafita, but you've got to wait for the referee. Saints have won 36 of 45 meetings against Wakefield previously in Super League, so they'll make that now 37 of 46. Because all Wakefield are looking for here is consolation. And they've got a pretty good record on this ground as well. 17 wins from 23 visits here for the Saints. Here is Matty Ashurst.
And when you think about the question marks they were under coming into this game, poor performance last week against Huddersfield off the back of that semi-final, demoralising defeat. They would have expected to get over Catalan Dragons. The character of Justin Holbrook's side has shone through.
Matty Ashurst, whose career began at St Helens, plays the ball there to a colleague, and this now is Hampshire, who tries to change the direction. 3 minutes from time. It's consolation that Wakefield are after and no more. Randall to Miller. High kick to the left-hand side. Makinson leaps. Johnston leaps. And he got the fingertip to it. And that will be a restart for the Saints on the 20-metre line.
Not a bad tactic, and they've had a good battle, haven't they? Johnston and Tommy Makinson.
Chris Chester, Michael Monaghan looking a bit glum. Went away from them in the first half. They scrubbed up better in the second.
They've had a stranglehold on this game a couple of times, particularly in the first 20 minutes. Strong defence, good line speed, pressurising Saints, denying them that field position and momentum at the ruck, at the speed of the play of the ball that they rely on so heavily.
Douglas with a charge forward. I think we all know that Saints have won, the game is up. But Saints looking to add to their impressive points difference. Here's Barber. Oh, well, now then, this is picked up by Reece Lynn. I think there was a knock on both ways.
Knock on early.
Ben Jones-Bishop. Back it goes to Reece Lynn. And he'll take the tackle here. And that's probably wise, because had he gone over for the try, they might have come back and had a look at that with the video referee. But here is a penalty for Wakefield.
A late spurt from Wakefield. They've had a couple of looks at the line of Saints, and they get it right this time.
This is Jowett. Yeah, give them something to take into the cup final break and come back with stronger the week after that. This is England now. Here is Hampshire. And Paulie. Well, he takes some putting on the floor. He really does. And he flung the ball out to Ben Jones-Bishop, who somehow saved it from going out.
The game's just fizzling out for both sides now. Wakefield, as you quite rightly said, they want to get a try. They want to go into the changing rooms off the back of 4 or 6 points, and St Helens trying their best to deny that. A little bit sloppy. A long booming pass from St Helens near their own line.
Yes, Zeptea found Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. LMS is on his way, stepping through the challenges. He's on his own, though. And David Fafita showing he's got a quick turn of pace.
And the big fella gets back.
And a penalty here because he wouldn't let McCarthy-Scarsbrook get up and play the ball quick enough. So a penalty to St Helens.
And he's still smiling, David Fafita. Look at him working hard, getting back. They'll probably take the 2 points on offer here, St Helens, but I have to say I do enjoy watching David Fafita. I love to see a player with a smile on his face, enjoying his job, playing with the passion and pride in the shirt that those fans love him for.
Well, he has given the penalty away, and St Helens have elected to kick at goal, which will be the last action of this match. Providing, of course, that he kicks it. Justin Holbrook's men came here under something of a cloud, I suppose, with 2 defeats. Back-to-back defeats, first time this year. But they've answered any questions, they've answered any critics. It's either 34-16 or 36-16. And Richardson ensures that it's 36-16. So a 20-point victory to the league leaders. Wakefield played their part in the first half, even though they got no reward from it. They were 16-0 down. Then they went down to 12 men, with Craig Hubie in the sin bin, and Chris Chester knows his men played well with just the 12 men on the field. They got a try from Wood and Paulie. They were back within 4 points. But then Theo Farge on the hour, just before Tupu got his try to make it 16-22. With 15 minutes remaining, but Saints saw it out with 2 tries. Douglas and Grace, and Richardson added 3 goals. And Justin Holbrook giving his supporters something to think about and saying thank you to them for travelling across and supporting them here. 36-16 they've won, and back on course.
Justin Holbrook, and I suspect Ben Barber making sure they thank the fans, though, travelling fans. A couple of the fans back at their home ground were confused over why Ben Barber, after a loss, didn't come out and clap the fans. He was educated in the way of English sport. You clap the fans, win, lose or draw, but they would have had external questions, St Helens, going into this game. Are they the real deal? There may well have been some slight questions in the minds of the players internally as well. Are we as good as we think? Well, certainly on tonight's evidence, they're right up there. A normal service has been resumed.
And all we need to know now is who is the Betfred man of the match tonight here at Wakefield. And there he is. No, not the bloke on the left, thank goodness. Tommy Makinson, he's with Terence.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, you were just saying then that you needed that result, and coming in this game off the back of 2 losses. So was it just a real big effort that you needed overall?
Yeah, massively. You know, coming here, we knew it was going to be tough. We just had to dig in deep, especially in that second half. And I thought we got there in the end. That second half, it wasn't our best, but I think we did enough in the first to come out winners there.
Was there any nerves coming into the game? Because Wakefield are playing well themselves, aren't they? They're a big, tough side. You're down on a few players yourself. You look at the forwards that you're missing, but you certainly had to come up with your A grade tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that first half, we started like an house on fire, and credit to Jack there and Leesy. They just, when they come on, they just got going, and I thought they laid the platform for us, and then us backs could start getting a few quick play the balls, and you know that broke them a bit, and then they come back in the second half. We know whenever we come here, it's always a tough battle, and people's been, you know, last 2 weeks, people's been saying, oh, Saints are on the edge, they're on their edge, and, you know, it gets to you a tiny bit, and a win's a win, 2 points on the board, and, you know, we go into the break now, rest some well-needed bodies.
Well, you're known for scoring some fabulous tries. You only scored 1 out of the last 11, but you scored 2 today, and they took some scoring as well. The Tommy Makinson of old.
Yeah, a bit of a drought there. Last try, I think, was in Denver or something like that, so it was a while, and I said to Benny before the game, I just said, oh, start giving us a bit more of a shot there, and, you know, I'll finish him for you, and that's why we looked at each other when he pinged us that, and then Danny kicked us that ball, and that's my job, to get us on the front foot and finish them special tries.
Do you feel under pressure? Because everyone's been waxing lyrical about how well Saints have been playing all year. They've been highlighting players, they're saying that the man of steel's going to be coming from and wearing the Saints jersey. Does that put more pressure on yourselves?
The pressure comes from ourselves, I think. You know, we put pressure on ourselves because we know we're a good side, and that semi-final rocked us. You know, we went into that Huddersfield game and take nothing away from Huddersfield. They smashed us as well, both of them did, and then coming here off the back of 2 losses, it's always tough, and, you know, to get that win, keep yapping on, but 2 points is massive tonight. It doesn't matter how we get it, we got it there in the end.
Well, Tommy, here's your man of the match award, the Silver Salver, and you've got a cheque sponsored by Betfred to the charity of your choice. Who's that going to go to?
Oh, I think you know yourself, Tony Barra Foundation. You know, my family's uncle passed away with a brain tumour a year and a bit ago now, and, you know, he's a legend, and I wanted that to go to his charity and hopefully help a lot more people.
Great charity, well done, mate. Well done, Tommy. We've got Jack Ashworth. I think you made a huge impact for a youngster. Wow, do we need to stand up a bit taller here? But you certainly revved up, didn't you? Wakefield had a big, powerful side, but you certainly, when you got your chance, you got on the pitch, you really took the battle to them.
Yeah, as a young lad, you just want to do the best you can, and obviously we're a winning side, and, you know, the best side in the league at the minute, and, you know, you need to earn a spot, and hopefully I'm going to do that eventually. So just take my moment and enjoy it.
Did you find it a tough game playing in the middle there? James Roby bringing you onto the ball, but you're running into the likes of Fafita and Paulie. That can't have been hard. That can't have been easy, could it?
No, it's never easy playing in the middle, but I'm with a great bunch of lads, like you said. You've got James Roby, obviously Wilco controls it a lot for us, and even the starting middles, so you had Kyle Amor and Luke Douglas and Morgan Knowles, and they sort of set the standard, and hopefully I come on and backed it up, and obviously did them justice. They did all the hard work, didn't they?
Does that make it really easy when you've got some senior pros that have been around the blocks, like James Roby, John Wilkin? You've got lads that really help you out in your game, not just in the game day, in the 80-minute performance, but also in training during the week. Oh,
massively, yeah, they're great influences, and yeah, they do help us out in training and in games, but it's not just like the senior lads. We're a tight bunch, and I think we all help each other and work for each other, so yeah, it's just good to get out there and get a win.
Congratulations, you've got a fabulous career. Thanks for your time, Jack. We've got Justin Horrock coming in next. Or actually, Chris Chester have just been sidestepped then by Justin. Chris, it was you started off well. You had a real big start and a go at them in the second half, but unfortunately you didn't get the results, and Saints just showed that bit more class.
Yeah, listen, you get what you deserve in rugby, and we certainly got what we deserve tonight. I thought, like you said, we got off to a really good start for 20-25 minutes, but that last 15 minutes as ball control were bang average, and you know, really disappointed to go in at 16-0. But yeah, listen, they're a class side. They're a good side, and you know, I thought at one point we got ourselves back into the game, and then they come up with a special play. But listen, the effort were there tonight. The effort were there. We just lacked that little bit of class.
You've got to be really proud, though, with the character in your side, because a lot of teams that spend a lot more money than you would have probably folded, but you stuck together, you give it a real big crack, and you rotated your forwards, and you give it a good go.
Yeah, we came out with some intent that second half. We just seemed to run a lot harder and defended a lot tougher. But you know, it shouldn't take a rocket at half time for the lads to pick up. But listen, yeah, they're a great side. They're at top of the league for a reason. They've been consistent all season, and you know, that's one thing that we probably haven't been this year.
5th last year. Realistically, Chris, not going to make the top 4, and is 5th another goal of yours this year?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. We want to try and emulate what we achieved last year. You know, we're realistic. We know that we can't get the top 4 now, especially after tonight's result. So it's important now we try and win as many games as we possibly can and take some momentum into next year.
Thanks for your time, Chris. Are you proud of your dad?
Yeah.
Is he a great coach? Is he going to be Super League Coach of the Year, do you think?
Yeah.
No.
Well, there you go. There's one vote you've got, Chris. Justin Horrocks. Justin, you give it absolutely everything against a Saints side that were coming into this game and they needed the win. So how do you look at that game? How do you view that game as a player?
Yeah, we probably caught him at the wrong time, actually, coming off a couple of losses. But we've had some pretty good contests all year against them. So, yeah, pretty proud of the boys. And 16-0 down at half-time, could have just packed it in and give up. But I thought we fought well in the second half to get back in there.
Well, for the first 27 minutes, you really give it a go, didn't you? You were going end-to-end with them. You had your chances. You probably couldn't nail some of those chances when you had decent field position. And then Saints got you with 3 tries in 7 minutes. But when you look at the second half, the way you come out, I said to Chris, that's got to show the character that you've got in the side to come out and actually have a dig at them. Yeah, I think they just kind of showed the class and showed why they're number one, especially in that first 25 minutes when we were in an arm wrestle. And we just kind of, we didn't tough it out and pack it in there, stick with it. And, they got us in the back 15 minutes there. Thanks for your time. Thanks, mate. Justin, well, we've seen a few faces. You were happy, you were upset, you were cheering some of the players, but that's a real big win against a very determined Wakefield side.
So it's no different how you see me every other game. I ride the emotions of it, don't I? I try not to, but it takes over. No, absolutely, a really good win tonight. As we knew Wakefield are a very good side, and they're hard to beat here. So to get a win in tonight was important.
What were you expecting when you turned up here tonight? What were you expecting from Wakefield? Did you think that you're just going to come at you? They've got nothing to lose playing against Saints?
Oh, I don't know about that. I knew they were going to be tough to beat because they are here all the time. But for us, it was about us getting back to the way we've been playing all year. And there's been a lot of talk about us the last couple of weeks. So obviously, admittedly, we played poorly in the semi-final. But outside of that, we've been good. And a lot of other teams have lost a lot more games than us. And for some reason, we're getting looked upon as struggling, which I find strange. But anyway, it was important that we play well tonight, and we did that, and I'm obviously really happy.
Well, just on that, do you think that people have been disrespectful to you? Have you been using that as a bit of ammunition for your players going into the games?
No, not at all. No, that's fine. Everyone's entitled their opinion, so I've got no issue with that. It's just about us, performing the way we can, and obviously, started really well tonight. We haven't done that for a few weeks, so that was a really good sign. And then as Wakefield come back at us, but they're a dangerous team as well. So I don't know how you stop Paulie there. It's almost unfair, isn't it? I haven't got an answer for that.
Well, you got Paulie to do with and David Fafita, but the fans turned out and they really helped the players on, didn't they? They seemed to inspire them and lift them at times that they needed to lift.
Yeah, and it's a great atmosphere here. When you play at these grounds, they're tremendous, and obviously our fans have been terrific all year and really getting behind the boys, so I'm really happy tonight.
Thanks for your time, Justin.
Cheers. Stern.
Business as usual for Justin Holbrook and St Helens as they return to winning ways. Such are the high standards that he and his side have set that, yes, surprise was expressed after back-to-back defeats. But now they are back to winning ways. 2 competition points go their way. A 16-0 half-time lead, 36-16 in the end. John Wells' 3 second-half tries for Trinity threatened to make it difficult for Saints at times in that second 40.
It did, Brian, yeah. I think Terry picked up that touch of class. It's there whether you win or you lose, and form sometimes desert you, but I think the class there is permanent at the St Helens team. Wakefield, as you said, started extremely well, didn't they, in that second 45 minutes on the clock, and Kyle Wood crosses to get the Wakefield scoreboard ticking, and then with Craig Hubie in the sin bin, Paulie crosses for his try, referenced there by Justin Holbrook, 12-16. Theo Fage on the hour down the short side. We're going to have a closer look at this one in just a second. I think the timing of the try was particularly important, and then Bill Tupu, just to show that Wakefield not quite done and dusted for 2018 just yet, into the hands of one of their most prolific scorers and one of their best players this year. Tupu crossing for his 12th Super League try. Luke Douglas righted the ship and steadied the ship for St Helens with 10 minutes left in the game. 16 points to 28 with Richardson conversion. There still was time for Regan Grace, an opportunist piece of play to cross for the final try, not the final points of the game. Richardson with a penalty on the full-time hooter, 16 points to 36, so a comprehensive win in terms of the scoreboard. I think more importantly for Justin Holbrook's men, they go into a break now and put their feet up. and I couldn't stress how important it would be to have a victory going into that break as well, because 3 defeats would have really coloured what that fortnight looked like for St Helens off the field in preparation for their resumption of the Super 8's charge and that charge towards the League Leader Shield. The game breaker, well, on 60 minutes, it was Theo Fage who gets the try, but I think importantly it brought to a halt that Wakefield resurgence after that half-time restarted. Wood and Paulie, as we covered, scored the tries, but I guess most significantly, for tonight, certainly, and also in the build-up to those opponents who they will face later in the year, this is the danger. St Helens, nothing doing, 4 on the short side versus 4 attackers, plenty of time to get assessed, and then Zebte just slips a beautiful little ball. The key thing about all that, I think Percival is the man who really, he stays alive, and when you're talking about Saints striking from nothing, this isn't things that just magically appear. This is down to hard work and determination from guys like this. And then after so little time to assess what's going on, and this is the natural side of Percival, just to pull in Tinarona and allow Theo Fage to cross. It wasn't just the fact that they extended a 4-point lead to a 10-point lead. It was the time in the game, and there's a marker down for the opponents they've yet to face, Brian.
Absolutely right, John. Next up for St Helens is Wigan at home. Wakefield Trinity travel to play Huddersfield away. That is in 2 weeks' time. They will go into that break, though, at the moment 10 points clear of the Wigan Warriors, who were in action against the Catalan Dragons on Saturday in front of the Sky Sports cameras. Wakefield lose the chance to close the gap on Castleford and jump ahead of Huddersfield Giants. So 6th place, Wakefield Trinity going into this game, they will remain in 6th place. Looking at that game, Phil Clark, and the performance of St Helens, because all the attention will go on a St Helens side that had lost those 2 games and have gone in here. I suppose one of the more impressive aspects of the game is how they stayed focused. They stayed focused in that 7-minute period where they blew Wakefield away, and even when Wakefield had that comeback, St Helens never looked like drifting out of this game or making it difficult for themselves.
No, I'd agree. I mean, John Wells just said that it was a comprehensive victory. I think it was a confidence-boosting victory as well. You know, no team has come here and won by 20 points this season. That's a phenomenal achievement. To win alone here hasn't been easy for any of the sides. Few points for the victories that the teams have won here. But to put 20-point gap between you and the Wakefield Trinity side in 2018 is a significant marker. And I think the only thing they've got to really address is that first 20 minutes, which again, they didn't seem to quite have the dominance that they had.
But that's okay, isn't it? It's okay. You don't have to score. You don't have to win a game in the first 20 minutes.
But I would say that the contact and the control in the middle of the field probably wasn't as good. And when they got the quicker play the balls, then they started to go downfield and score some points with the class that they've got. But I think early on in the season, they were able to physically dominate their opponents in the centre of the field. That doesn't seem to be the case as much these days.
Got a quick word with Jamal Alessi, their assistant coach, in the sideline just after half-time. I asked what pleased you most and what pleased Justin Holbrook most about that first 40 minutes. He said it's how they went after Wakefield Trinity in that 7-minute period where they scored 3 tries, wrestled for opening 20 minutes of the game, and then when they needed to, they went for the jugular, scored a try, and then put the foot on the throat.
Well, the best teams have that ability, don't they, to accelerate when they sense blood with their opposition, and then they got the first try and press harder. I think most teams in rugby league play the game the same way. They have the same strategies, the same movements and patterns of players, but the best teams just play it that much quicker than their opponents, both with and without the ball. And I think that's what sets St Helens apart from the other teams in Super League this season, the ability to play a little bit quicker, and in doing so, put the points on the board.
Okay, confidence-boosting win for St Helens. They are back to winning ways. They moved to within 3 points of securing the League Leader Shield. They are chased, of course, by Wigan, Warrington and Castleford. Castleford and Warrington in action tomorrow in front of the Sky Sports cameras. I just want to get your thoughts ahead of this game, Phil. Steve Price has named his 19-man squad. Just a couple have been rested ahead of the trip to Wembley. They've got to focus on the game against Castleford first and foremost. Castleford have to bounce back from that defeat against Wigan. How do you see this unfolding tomorrow at the Mendehouse Jungle?
Well, I think with home advantage, I fancy the Castleford Tigers, but that's assuming that they play the way they did in the second half against Wigan, rather than that first half, which was absolutely dreadful for them. Put in an 80-minute performance like they showed in the second 40 against Wigan, and I think they may be too strong for Warrington, but the Warrington side have already won there once this season, and I think really would come back.
Dreadful conditions as well. That was Easter Monday, yeah.
It's underwater match, wasn't it, on those days? But, you know, the Warrington side on a fast track, it should be a fast game with 2 very skillful sides, and I think we'll see some good tries.
Okay, will Warrington be distracted by Wembley? We will see tomorrow on the Sky Sports camera. Steve Price certainly has named a strong side. Darryl Powell and the Castleford Tigers lie in wait. All the action, 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports action with us here on Sky Sports. Right, we've got NRL action coming up for you on Saturday. It is a bumper day of rugby league. All starts with West Tigers against the fast-fading St George Illawarra Dragons, 8:25 a.m. Sky Sports Arena, and that is followed by Cronulla against the North Queensland Cowboys, 10:30 a.m. same channel. And then we have three from these, one from these shores, and then we go to France and Canada, 3 p.m. Sky Sports Arena, Salford Witness, Catalan Wigan, 5:15 on Sky Sports Arena, and then it's our pleasure to bring you, for the first time on Sky Sports, the Toronto Wolfpack taking on Hull Kingston Rovers. Rovers, of course, had that opening defeat in the qualifiers. 7:30 p.m. Sky Sports Arena. 5 games on Saturday. Hope you can join us for all of those. But before that, we're over at Castleford tomorrow. From Wakefield Trinity here tonight, it's business as usual for the league leaders, St Helens. They
Here is Barber wide to Makinson. Roby will dart down the middle. He'll find Wilkin, he'll find Lomax. And Lomax has jinked his way through. Oh, Makinson has scored. He's picked their pockets again down this right-hand side. Nice flick pass to Bill Tupu. He's gone to Kyle Wood in support, and that's a great start to the second half for Wakefield. And it's Paulie trying to barge his way over. I think he has done. Zaptea. Back his way to the line, gets the ball away to Percival. Percival finds Fars. That's a great try. This is Richardson, slides the kick in. It's standing up nicely. And Regan Grace has seen a gap. And Regan Grace is good on his feet and he's quick and will seal the win for Justin Holbrook's men.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.
Just looking to pass, earn the right to play, go forward.
Gale to Hardacre. Hardacre to Minikin. Wide to Eden. 31 for the season.
Poke, sniff, ouch, taste, find yonder, see wonder, go all in, go all out. Why not? Drop everything, get lost, lark around, soak up the sun, head for the hills, find new wings. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.